Okay, Pokemon VGC is trash, but what happened at the Orlando Regionals is unbelievable, even by Play Pokemon standards. So we have this tweet. Can we please go back to using our Nintendo Switches Play Pokemon? This is actually affecting matches. Now, I wouldn't fault you for not watching the stream because the production quality is terrible and VGC is all cheaters anyways, so there's no enjoyment whatsoever. What ended up happening is that people that were shown on stream are using Nintendo Switches provided by the tournament organizers. Well, they didn't have the Terra Orbs unlocked. Saw a clip from the stream, Switch one of the players had didn't have the Terra Orb, so they couldn't terrastalize. People were forced to play without Terra because people in charge are too lazy to get the Terra Orb themselves, and so on and so forth and all the other weirdness. So I wanted to see what was going on with the stream, and hey, we actually have people breaking it down in the comments. Awesome. So these are the matches, and the first match actually started at 59, but was reset due to a technical difficulty with the Terra Orbs. And then it happened again! How? Like, they went a little bit without problems after this, and wow. Now, I've been covering the incompetence of Play Pokemon for years now, and it goes well beyond just refusing to ban cheaters. We have this for the Pokemon Sun and Moon era. Pokemon Company doesn't know their own rules, and it was because they didn't understand Pokemon legality. Completely legal Pokemon were said to be illegal in the rules, and vice versa, and ball legality and move legality. Like, they just kept getting it wrong for like half of the Pokemon Sun and Moon era. And it's still happening because Play Pokemon tournament organizers have never had care or respect for the games. This actually says it pretty well. We're a joke to Play Pokemon. It's ridiculous to think they can't even prepare 2 Switches with the Terra Orbs. How long does it take to get? 30 minutes? Now, because the Pokemon community is involved, there's a lot of lies and misinformation. So someone asked, wait, what happened? And this was one of the replies. They're using rental switches, where you put your team in as a rental and grab it in the Pokemon Company issued Switch. The problem is some of their Switches don't have Terra Orbs unlocked, so you have a handicap if you get unlucky. And that got 24 likes, and actually a high like ratio, even though it's just complete garbage. You can also see it in a couple of these comments. Players were forced to play without Terra because the people in charge were too lazy to get it themselves, except no, there was no handicap and the matches were remade. There was a really long technical downtime, but it was fixed, and it was completely rectified. 0-0. It's not like, oh, you lost because you just got unlucky with the Nintendo Switch. We're not going to do anything about it. No, they just reset the match, and then after getting the stream set up again, it was all good. So that's why I find it really weird people said that. Also, it was just a couple of games, so it wasn't like, oh man, there was half the Nintendo Switches floating around being used by the Pokemon Company, and if you just didn't get the Terra Orb, you lost and there was nothing you could do about it. So, that was weird, but still just a complete joke that these difficulties happen in 2024. Now, what about the stream and regionals itself? Well, it's really cringe. They started adding these little quips about the players on stream, and they're just annoying and dry. Same thing with the rest of the stream. It's completely uninteresting, and it's really just buffer content made for the few hundred cheaters that play Pokemon VGC. However, I saw a couple of interesting names here for these stream highlights. There's your boy, Joshua Lorsey, the next Wolf Glick back in Generation 7, who got busted for cheating, who is still using hacked Pokemon. Awesome shiny team there, bro. So once again, we see more favoritism from Play Pokemon, which just makes the entire scene more annoying. No banning cheaters, and instead putting them on stream, or hiring them, or giving them features and stuff. And of course, you have to put the biggest cheater in Pokemon history on stream, or else you're not going to get any views. So here we have Wolf Glick pretending to look knowledgeable, like he knows what he's doing. Because the entire scene is just cheaters pandering to morons on both the Play Pokemon side and the competitor side. Cool. And if you think it's better elsewhere in the Pokemon community, it isn't. One of Pokemon's best friends got outed as a predator, and I will never understand why people defend this by not naming them. Also, apparently this isn't the first time it's happened with Pokemon, which isn't a surprise to me at all, or anyone involved with Smogon, because chat logs keep coming out all the time. And there's actually not a lot here because it's just yet another predator in the Pokemon community. Sadly, it's just that common of an occurrence, especially with large creators. So we have Nappy, Weedle Twin Needle, and now MV, and here's the story of what happened. MV made contact with another user/fan. Great. through Pokemon Showdown and other platforms. At the time, MV was 22, the other user was 16. They got a lot of chat logs, and MV even acknowledged that the user was under 18. So that happened, but Pokeaim cares too much about sponsors to actually make a strong statement against the individual. That's weird. Also, his fans are really weird as well, because a lot of people are like, oh, poor Pokeaim for having a friend turn out to be a monster. On a smaller scale than the events themselves, it's a shame that this came to light during the subathon. Even though it's better sooner than later, that's freaking weird. Heart goes out to everyone involved, but to be honest, I'm sorry, considering this individual had not been a friend but family to you for what seems like forever. Hopefully justice is dealt. What? The Pokemon community just straight up cannot be saved, huh? And that's pretty much it. Nothing more to say, nothing more to cover. It's all cheaters in Pokemon VGC. We keep having like all these crazy things with disqualifications and hack checks and after Pokemon Worlds. Like, that's the new floor. The new floor is everyone's cheating. So it takes a lot to actually get a story where it's like, oh, but then this cheater revealed and this Kurt hack check. I don't know what Kurt is cooking for, like, alright, now that we're halfway through the season for Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, let's do another round of free hack checks to see how things haven't changed. Well, the only thing that's changed is players have regressed back to Generation 8, where after Kurt started doing his free hack checks, they just stopped posting their rental teams. I've also covered this in the last couple ones where they're posting their pastes. So it's like, hey, here's my team, but they're not showing the in-game team because it's going to get hack checked and then taken down. Also, the Pokemon Company is doing a lot of work, even though their hack check still isn't catching a lot of hatched Pokemon. It's weird, and then cheaters are still allowed to play because the entire scene is terrible. As you can see, like, production quality of streams, awful. The entire managing and organization of play Pokemon, terrible. And there's still situations where there's, like, judge abuse, and Mikani wanted to jump into traffic. Even though there was a lot of hope after Pokemon Worlds 2023, as we can see, it didn't completely melt down the scene. Even though the hack checks still happened, and more players kept getting disqualified, no bans, nothing serious. The scene cannot be saved, and it's just terrible. Like, even if they make an official battle simulator, or they make it to where you don't have to train your Pokemon anymore, that means all the cheaters just got away with it for free. Even if the Nintendo Switch 2 is a completely secure console and doesn't have jailbreaking, therefore there's not hacking in future generations of Pokemon, without Wolf Glick getting a permaban, there's no point competing, because again, like, oh, they just got to get away with cheating for free. No punishments the entire time, and then they have that permanent gain of resources and advantage. The Pokemon Company is just that corrupt, and play Pokemon can't be saved, and then going back to the streams, like, yep, it's extra that way. So, there we go, guys. That's Pokemon VGC right now. If you're wondering why there's not, like, a new, this cheater exposed at this event, it's because it's every event now, and nothing's being done about it. And then nothing else about Pokemon VGC is noteworthy or getting into. So there we go. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you all have a nice day. Thank you very much for watching.